We bought a kayak. For you.
How did it get a kayak?
Because we saw it and we bought it. Guess what else?
You got a kayak.
I did. I got a big kayak.
Yeah, I know I miss kayak.
That's right.
A big one for you.
Today we're going to review a couple of kayaks. The Lifetime Tamarack 100 Fishing Kayak and the Lifetime Wave 60 Kids Kayak. It's always we had to have them. So let's get to it. So a little backstory on how we got a kayak. It was like the first day of spring, like the real first day. It was in the 70s, the sky was blue, there was hardly any clouds in it, green trees as far as the eye could see, wind was just swaying stuff back and forth, and the lakes were just glistening. Oh, it was gorgeous. It was a day to behold. We decided to go shopping on this day, which was just a travesty to me. So we went to Walmart, and when we went there, very first thing we see outside the garden center was a bunch of kayaks all stood up in a row. We saw a couple of them that were kind of short, and we were like, I wonder what those are. We thought they were like paddle boards or something. But we went up, we checked them out, and it turned out that one of them was actually a kids kayak, and we thought that was pretty awesome. So we decided, you know what, our kid's been awesome, we're gonna go ahead and get that. So as you can see today, we're doing a little bit of a kayak adventure, and in order to do a kayak adventure, you have to get the kayak to water. As you can see in the previous section of the video, we didn't even have a rack on there. So, without further ado, me and my partner... Get out of here, Cotton! So me and my partner are going to install these racks. And before we can do that, we're going to need to install the crossbars too. So we're going to just do a quick unboxing of these, and I forgot what I ordered, honestly. I think everything came from Walmart. Fairly simple, came in a few days. We're just ready to get out of the water. So we're going to start today by getting the rails out, because we got to install them first before we can do the other one. Ooh, all this defeated by packaging again. Oh! So I guess these are pretty standard. They come with the keys so you can lock and unlock them. Looks like it's a really simple installation. Lord, that's pretty cool. Nicely packaged. It's obviously tons of bubble wrap we'll have to get through. Oh my god, bubble wrap.
You can pop it.
You can pop it.
Now we pop it.
Pop it. Wow, that is really cool. Should just sit right on top of the rails. We have a Jeep Grand Cherokee, so that's what we're installing today. These are for the Jeep Grand Cherokee. The instruction says it's good, which means they confirm my order properly. Sometimes with Walmart, you don't get what you ordered. And they're labeled front and rear, so that's easy for identifying where they're supposed to go on the car. Our research is paid off. Cool. Alright. We're going to unbox the next thing.
Did you give me the one box?
I did. Now wait. You have to wait. You have to wait for me to start the video. I just wanted to point out that is a Yita motor crossbar roof rack for the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Y-I-T-A. And we're going to check out how well it fits. It said that it would fit on most Grand Cherokees, but we will see. So it appears that it just goes across the rail and just twists on, tightens up, and then the bungees will just hold the kayaks on. What we have here is the Reese Explorer J-Rack kayak carrier. We got two sets because we got two kayaks, and
We have to have a way to get them there. You would not believe how hard it was to get them from Walmart to home. So today is really just stuff I bought at Walmart video. Nothing wrong with that.
Don't judge me.
Do you have any fun over there? That's fantastic. Fantastic. Let's get a closer look at these and we'll start installing them. And what we got was the Jeep Grand Cherokee kit. We have the Reese Explorer rack, some instructions. It's also got recommendations and warnings, all the things that you need to know before you get going. Got our bungees, we got our hooks, some spring-loaded tension straps, and they just look good. What I liked a lot about this was it was super easy to install. Now, it said so in one review online, and I didn't know what to think about that because it had 2 negative reviews right after that, and I didn't really understand what they were kind of moaning about because it was super easy. Like this rubber piece that covers the entire length of the top, you just peel up the end, you do a couple of hex screws, and it's done. Now, the total install time for this was actually about 13 minutes, and that's from the box to the top of my car. The nice thing is they're adjustable in length, so they cover the entire length of the roof.
Okay. My daddy did it. I'm glad you're here. So my daddy just put the boat
The roof rack.
the roof rack for the boats to go on, so we can go paddling.
What kind of boats?
Yeah.
We should definitely get that step. I want to do a video on that.
What was it called? The Moki step?
Yeah. Now we're going to put on the Reese Explorers. This just clamps directly onto the bar, and so that was extremely easy to install as well. This Reese Explorer kayak mount is awesome. Another thing that we learned was when you do the straps, make sure you put a little bit of effort into where the kayak is positioned before you start, and think about how you're going to get the strap up and around the kayak. There's a couple of ways to do it, and it took a minute to master that, and I thought that was something really important to note for somebody who hasn't done it yet. Definitely read the instructions when it comes to installing the straps, because it tells you everything you need to know.
That's a good one. You should slow down.
Do your straps before your kayak. Don't make my mistake. Are we excited, Kata?
Yeah.
Woo! We're going kayaking! Now the kayak. The kayak was awesome. I really liked the kayak. The kayak was totally cool. The kids kayak, I want to start with that. My daughter loved the kids kayak. My kid is 4 years old, and she basically mastered it in about an hour. She dragged it out into the water herself. It's got a handle on the front. The one thing I don't like about it is it doesn't have handles on the sides or the back. Now the back does look like you're supposed to be able to slide up onto it, grab it, and pull yourself in, or use it to just kind of paddle yourself out to where you want to be. That's a beautiful thing about it. Its max weight is 165 pounds, so mom and dad, you're probably not going to be paddling your kid out there without sinking them. Just saying. But we did put her paddles together, and she did it on her own. We showed her a couple times how to get out there. It was a little trouble getting past the chop a little bit, mostly because she's so lightweight and the kayak is so lightweight that we kind of had to pull her out just enough to where it wasn't so choppy that she couldn't do it on her own. She could actually dig with the paddles and get out there. Always make sure you got your life vest for your kids. My daughter was, she forgot she was even wearing it. It's like a fish. It's amazing. So as far as the Tamarack 100 angler is concerned, I got a fishing kayak. What I love about the kayak is that it actually comes with sort of a seat. It's got a fold down backrest. It's got, which also locks in place for travel purposes. It has 2 storage compartments, which I believe run the entirety of the bottom of the kayak, but there's 2 places that you can open it and dump it. It also comes with a rod holder, which is really cool. I really love the way that it felt when I sat down into it. It has several levels for your feet to go, for footrests. It was just a comfortable ride. It does have straps in the back and it has straps in the front. One note on that is the knot that they put on those straps, those bungees, is sort of flimsy. You're going to notice that you're going to have to retie it. But aside from that, I really like the kayak. It's got 2 side handles. It's got a handle in the front and a handle in the back, so you could do a team lift, carry it. I had to drag mine into the water by myself too.
Obviously, these people are having fun behind me. I'd say that was a great day at the lake. These get a thumbs up for sure. These kayaks are awesome. I'd say that the wrecks did pretty well as well.
Okay, so we had a great day out at the lake and we're finally back. So what we want to do is just kind of give you our honest opinion about what we had to deal with there. So you can definitely feel the wind swaying your kayak back and forth. And that was something that I didn't like about these. They do secure the kayak. And since there's one in the front and one in the back, it keeps it from going too far. But I noticed the wind was pushing us a lot yesterday, and that kind of worried me. It was a highway, so I pushed it a little bit on purpose, but just beware of your speeds, for sure. We did a lot of road travel. We went between 2 different cities, and yeah, it held up beautifully. It did the job. I'm really impressed with this rack. First off, because of the ease of installation and how sturdy it is with the aluminum construction. Even though that these are little plastic brackets, they held firmly. They have a little metal hook in there. As far as the rack is concerned, it's all aluminum construction with rubber stoppers for the kayak itself. It is going to really help cut down on the wear and tear of the kayak itself. Also, it was nice to see how they wanted you to tie it down with this nice handy strap and clip that they have. So it's just 1 strap per rack. Honestly, I thought that was super awesome. You just loop it through and loop it around the kayak itself. It comes together in one nice loop, and it ties and cinches down really well, and it holds that kayak exactly where you put it. And there's no way on these little teeth in there that strap is coming out. It's just not. But the rack itself, I'd say a 9 out of 10. There's a little bit of a problem with the rubbers in here that help seat it to the rail on your car. So they'll fall out. Keep your eyes peeled on those if you take this on and off a whole bunch. I've been taking it on and off, I don't know, like 4 or 5 times in the last day or so. And I have had a problem with them coming out. So if you do take it off, make sure you still have the rubbers in the ends of your rack, because if you don't, it's not going to seal properly and you're probably not going to get it to hang on as well as it could. So something that my wife didn't like a whole lot was the accessibility of this rack here. Getting a kayak up into this thing is sort of a challenge. You have to figure out how to do it properly. So the kayaks that we got were the open top design, where you don't actually slip into the kayak, you just sit on the kayak. The easiest way that we found was to lift it above our heads upside down so that the seat was right above our heads and the hull, the bottom of the hull, was above on top. And then we kind of tilted it, rocked it into this right here. So it just kind of like rolled into it instead of trying to muscle it up and onto the rack itself. We found that we had a better time with the balance of the kayak, in addition to getting it over the door, both of us getting a foot on the step and then just kind of pushing it to where it needed to be. I do recommend 2 people with the larger kayaks. If you're a muscle man, you can do it by yourself, that's all power to you. But the Kids Kayak was Easy. It was just a one-person job. We could get around the midpoint. I did like doing it the same way we did the large kayak. I flip it over on top, put it up upside down, and then flip it in, roll it in. That seemed to work really well. So, something I would recommend is having a bench step, or maybe something you can kind of get a leg up on instead of climbing up onto the door frame and and the clip that the door closes onto in order to actually do this. Just remember to be safe when you're putting it up there. Don't strain your back. If you're having a lot of trouble, make it a 2-man lift. And yeah, I'd say accessibility wasn't an issue. But they both work. They do the job. I do highly recommend them both. They're also cheap. You can get them for a decent price. So, a few of the points that my wife brought up were pretty minor, to be honest. I already forgot what they were. No, she thought that the handling of the kayak was actually really good. It moved side to side pretty easy. She was able to maneuver herself. For an open top kayak, it handled marvelously. And she really enjoyed the way that the paddles can break apart, and they have the storage directly behind the seat. There's a pair of chutes where you can just put each paddle, and then you can put your paddle back together. The Kids Kayak also has the break apart paddles, and my wife studiously noticed that she could put a pool noodle over the ends of the paddle so that if the kid loses it, at least it's going to float. I thought that was a genius idea. And you can space the hands out where you need them, which is genius. But moving on, yeah. So yeah, we really enjoyed the kayaks. I was myself surprised at how easy it was to handle. Man, I pushed myself through the water with ease. I didn't realize how far away it had gotten from the shore, and my wife and kid. Bye. I thought, oh, I should turn around. I was also getting into boat territory. I didn't want to be there. We took this out on an open water lake. It was a very nice lake. It was a beautiful lake. It was a very nice lake. It was one of the best lakes.
Instead of the B-roll, it was just an I-roll.
Instead of B-roll, we could do I-roll.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. That was good. That was a good joke. That was a mom joke. Yeah, I give it, I don't know. I'd say, because I haven't fished in it, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I'd recommend it to you. It's a great weekender's kayak. It's not a serious kayak. Don't take this thing on White Rapids. You're not going to survive. Definitely don't take the kids' kayak on White Rapids. You're not going to survive. Don't do it. On another note, we really enjoyed the wreck. We really enjoyed the other wreck. We really enjoyed the kayak, especially the kayak. We all had fun that day. It was a fantastic time. I don't have anything else. Take it easy. Thank you for joining us on Delorado Review. We'll see you next time. What? Too heavy?
Turn that one, yes. Turn that one
heavy.
again. Just take all that out. Yes. Why? That was like your veteran humor. No.